Hello, good evening, everyone. I had some technical problem. I've been trying to log in. Okay, so I had some technical problem, but I'm here. I'm gonna spend an hour with you, and then call it a night to go finish some schoolwork. All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. So tonight we're going to talk about the politics versus the law. Okay. I'd like to know in the Liberian mindset if the politics of Liberia supersede the law of the land. Okay. Based on research, I'm just going to speak to that. So that's what the conversation I'm going to be having today. If you would join me, and if you're here, please share the video. I would appreciate it if you would, please. Okay. Now let's try to make this public. There we go. Yes. Here I am. If you're there, share again. Let me start this conversation with I didn't get that today. Hopefully she'll be on next week. But let's start the conversation with hello to everyone. We're working diligently to get back on the air. Hey, sis, Sonny, get back on the air in Liberia, talk to chairman, when I also send some information. So we will do that this coming week. I have been exceptionally busy with work, with school, with death in a community, death in my own family. So just navigating these waters, life waters, just navigating it, sort of, kind of. So it's where I am at this point. Yes. But regardless, we have made a promise and we have to keep those words. So that's what we're going to work on. So tonight, I hear a lot of ongoing story. And people say it's politics. It's politics. It's politics. Okay. What I'd like to know from our people is, does the politics of the nation supersede the law of the nation? Because the law is the belief system, okay? Your constitution is your law. It is the foundation for which your government will establish. It is the governing system, okay, that is put together. Like the Bible have thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, okay? Not the beatitude, but the law that you need to abide by. Because the beatitude says, love your neighbor as yourself. No, blessed are this, blessed are the that. Yes. Does the law of the nation supersede? Does the politics of the nation supersede the law of the land? That is the question I'd like to ask the Liberian people today. Because when we are putting our foot in our mouths, when we are losing, believing we are winning, when we are turning our country inside out and undermining the very foundation that made what we call a country, okay? Because the structure of a nation, okay, that a nation is based on or built on is the governing system. Like for instance, in America, we started with what do you call it, the Union, the Confederate, and this, that, and then we came back to the federal system. Okay, the federal system gives some independence to each state, but the federal government is the most powerful. Although it is the most powerful, but certain laws, certain rules are reserved exclusively to the state. Okay, some laws are shared. On this other hand, Liberia is a unitary state. As such, it has three branches of government. And those three branches of government, okay, they have individual and equal power. Okay, So that's what I would like to, hey, and Archie, that's what I'd like to talk about tonight. If you have time, you want to join me, please let me know by all means. Does that supersede? And if this is the case, if you think the politics supersedes, where does that leave the nation? Where does that leave the people of the nation? Where is the country headed? It's something that all of us need to think about. I'm not going to be here long because I have a lot of work to do. Okay. Sunday is my date with you. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this a little. And I'm going to veer up a little bit. You know, there's something called straw man fallacy. Straw man fallacy is what's going on in the Liberian society. The very people yesterday who were screaming about killing in Liberia, about rape in Liberia, about looting in Liberia during we are time, I see the very people, majority of them, don't see anything anymore. I saw the son all over the place. All over the place today. I see him posting about Musa's son. Musa Ability's son. It's like somebody trying to hold my mother accountable for my deeds. You can't. In fact, in the United States, the moment my child turned 18, I don't get to speak for them anymore unless they give me authorization. And then the question I begs and answer is, when you put people in jail for holding, how long they're supposed to be in jail for before they have a hearing? You say their crime is non-billable. If their crime is unbillable, granted. However, what does the Constitution say about holding people in jail for as long as you want without then having a day in court? 7 months in jail. The last I checked, I don't see you screaming about a Chinese man who beat up a Liberian, wasted oil on him, set his dog on him to eat him up. You're billing out $5,000. I don't see y'all moving around. So in this light, I would think it is diversionary tactics is what we call straw man fallacy. Okay. You see something, you're trying to divert people's attention to cover it up. That's what you people are doing in that country. And now let me come here because I'm not going to be long today. The politics does not supersede the law of the nation. For instance, and this is solely and wholly on the legislature. Okay. Even on Funani Kofa, while I support his stand, which is exposing Liberia weakness, the fact that Liberia is, how broken the nation is. Okay. That's good. I see that. I see that. I see that. But what I see is we've been able to stand up so we can see what is going on, what is truly happening in the country. And here's what is truly happening in the country. What is truly happening in the country is lawlessness. That instead of the executive having an agenda to elevate, uplift, build the people so the people can build a nation, they focus on undermining the structure of the nation. Okay, they're busy undermining the structure of the nation. What built the nation? And all of us need to take heed. All of us need to pay attention. All Liberians need to pay attention. You know, a lot of people in the Liberian community, I call myself Forrest Gump. I have had many Forrest Gump moments. Hey, Dag, thank you. Many Forrest Gump moments. Found myself in places that I never would have thought where things happen. And it became, in the future, it became history. Okay? Those things. That's what I'm talking about. When you, as the president, you as the president of the republic, who should be focused on building the nation, having an agenda to take the nation out of the doldrum that is in, out of the abyss that is in. But no, power struggle. You want a Senate that is a yes, sir. You already have that. It's like, and I'm coming here, it's like somebody telling me Nyamlikanga is an opposition. Opposition to what? What is Yomlikanga's opposition to? This is Yomlikanga government. She made this government. She told us, Baka, do not campaign. We were campaigning. She and Darius Delon, this is their government. They made this government. They're in the very position they wanted to be in the control seat. So she's an opposition. Listen, I know our people don't understand most of what's going on, but we are not that dumb. We're not that blind to the point that we don't see. And our people are waking up. So to sit and say she's an opposition, she's not. It's the same thing. In Liberia, and this is where I am, I think most of you now, in Liberia, they will insult you. They will threaten to kill you. They will lie on you. Then they will come back and say, it was politics. No, it was not politics. When Margaret Addison was killed or on the life, it was not politics. She's not coming back. When Greaves were on the life, it was not politics. He was actually on the life. He's not coming back for political reason. When Gifty Lama was lost in the last regime, she's not coming back to her children. And the many of them, the gentlemen from the bank, they're not coming back. So when you guys talk about this being a politics, does the politics supersede the law of the land? No. Somebody say, Fonani Kofa need to resign. I also think Kun need to resign. Where Kun is a coup d'etat, he needs to go. Whether it's politics or not, it's immoral, it's unethical, and it's illegal. And let me come here to the little boy, that little boy, I know you will be ready, it will cost me. Little boy, called family. The position, the low money he making, maybe he never thought he would be there. Have gone completely to his head. He have lost his sanity. He don't know how to address himself. I heard him talking to Baise, who have paid his due, being rude and disrespectful, telling him he was drunk. And I'm sure that's how he talked to his mother and father. Because if he didn't talk to his parents like that, he would not come out and talk to an older adult, not just an older adult, trusting in a position of power and performing his duty and not being disrespectful to him. I listen to him from platform to platform, rude, uncouth, have no self-respect before I would say respect for anyone. Because for you to be able to disrespect other people, that means you have no respect for yourself. We sit around and we fool ourselves and we say it's just politics. No, it's not just politics. It cannot just be politics. It's not just politics. When lives are involved, 5 million lives are involved. Okay? So it's not just politics. 5 million Liberians are involved, with 300,000 of them, okay, on drugs. With 3.6 million of them can't find food to eat daily. So to say the least, to say that just politics, no, they're not just politics. It hurts people, lives. It hurts children. It impacts their future. And let me say this to all of you, Liberian people who sitting down and cussing and carrying on. Waka have nothing to lose, but all to gain. That's the fact. Waka is 80-some more years old. He has nowhere else to go. Like me. Let me say, because somebody can say, oh, you say you will die? We will all die. When you pass 50, you don't get nowhere to go, but you will die. Especially, okay, the likelihood that you're supposed to die early, okay, is based on your age too. Especially when you are in your 80s. He has nothing to lose. Yeah, it's a man who was begging like all around the diaspora yesterday. Even when he won, he packed up for 2 weeks and came to the US and said he came to say thank you. The very dude, yes, I call him dude. I call him dude out of disrespect. Totally out of disrespect, because I don't want to call any name. Yes, I want you to understand it. I'm calling him dude out of disrespect. Out of disrespect, because he has no empathy. He has no compassion. He has no leadership skill. Okay, I'm saying that. I got to watch it that some of you butt kissing, cussing people on Facebook just for position. Anybody come for me, I'll come for you. I'm so ready for you. Let somebody come for me. I'll come for you. I'm so ready. All right. Some of y'all run around bragging. Oh, I made 200,000. Oh, I made 150,000. Oh, but you're running to Liberia gleefully, okay, in a country with 90% unemployment, to take a job that somebody in Liberia can do. And all you people do is insult you all over on Facebook trying to show off. We can see right through y'all. We can see right through all of y'all. Okay? We can see right through y'all. And that's the fact. If you're in America making $200,000 and $300,000, okay, a year, you will be a millionaire if you manage your money. If you're making $200,000-$300,000 a year, you will be a millionaire in 5 to 6 years or less. If you invest your money, if you're not spoiling your money, you are investing where you get a yearly interest. You're not all over the place trying to please everybody, trying to buy all the name brand and pulling your clothes there to show off. You will be a millionaire. Okay, you will be a millionaire. But no, you make 200,000. Your sister that all of you are sharing the same building make 200,000. Your brothers make 200 plus 250,000. But you're ready to Liberia to go take a job that somebody in Liberia can do. You sold your soul, insult everybody else for that. And we're supposed to be like what? Like what? What are you bringing to the table? What will be your contribution? I'm going back again. And they call it politics. After they insult you, okay? After they insult you, after they call you names, then they come back, oh, my God, that was just politics. So, no, they're not for me. When you put people, you lied and put people in harm's way, 5 million of them, all of a sudden now you want to play rescue. And I'm supposed to look at you and say you're playing rescue. Okay? I'm supposed to say, oh, you elected them So now you're speaking, and I'm supposed to be all joyous about that. No, it does not happen that way. You knew that because you voted against them before. You knew that because you ran campaign against them before. You knew that. You knew they were corrupt. You knew under their reign, people were going to die. You knew they have never used anything. You knew that. So now you're playing hero because you've been promised that you will come to your district, they will give you money, and you will run and you will win your seat. This is what this is about. God is not about y'all. They don't care about y'all. They don't. They do not care about y'all. No, they don't. I'm going to try to see if I can play this Richard Kunga story. Let me see if I can play this Kunga story. I just want to see if my system is working. Guys, I'm not going to be here long. This is my first time in a long time coming. It's my birthday weekend. I am still soliciting funds to pay for this laptop. Yes, I got a laptop. I need to pay for it. So, yes. Hey, Anthony. So the question is, though, if the president's agenda must be fulfilled, what is the president's agenda? Is the president's agenda contrary to or does it contravene the law? Exactly, Anthony. Does the president's, what is that? Is the president's agenda contrary to the people's agenda? And if the president's agenda is the people's agenda, then there's no need to break down our legal system, to break down our institution, to make sure the president, what is the president's agenda? And you know the foolishness that you people are on in that country. I said foolishness, and I mean everywhere. Foolishness, okay, is that the U.S. government gave us over $100 million annually. Then the USAID have another $17 million. Trump is telling you these things are going to go away. But you have a leader that is more focused on the people that might be deported. Okay, but here it comes, and then people will say it's politics. No, it's not politics. It's foolishness. Let me say this to you, and President Barker, let me say this to you. I think you're very ungrateful, but you've always been that way. I'm sorry. I'm just going to speak my mind. The very people who were here collecting money to make sure you got elected, the very people where for the second round you got on the plane and you came to this States and said to raise money, You came back after you were elected. Because of that, they had to postpone your certification to say thank you to the very people in the diaspora. The very people who contribute over your national budget is less than 800 million. In fact, realistically speaking, is less than 500 million. You're inflated, it should be more. But you're divided among yourselves. The moment you're forced the taxes out of the people, you increase your budget. We, the Liberian in the diaspora, we support our people. This week, I paid 5 young girls, single mothers, children's school fees. Okay? When you have emergency, when people are posting on Facebook, okay? They're not posting it for majority of the people locally. They're posting it for people in the diaspora, Liberians who understand human development, compassion, empathy, will go out of their way to support them. They know that. So instead of you being human, you come to make fun out of them. The people that you are looking, that you see that you think are going to be deported, they're not the people that will be deported. Majority of us that are talking on Facebook, that are agitating you, we grew up in this country. Everything we have is here. Hey, Valio. So you might think those are the people that will be sent home. No. They're not them. Majority of the people that will send home, maybe the people who even supported you. So you see? So if they send 1,500 Liberian home, they send 4,000 Liberian home. Those 4,000 people, if they send $10 home every month, or $1 home every month, that $4,000 that you'll be using. If that $2, that $8,000 you will be losing. If that $3, that $12,000 you will be losing to a country. If that 5, that 15,000 that you'll be losing. If that $5 they send. No, 20,000. 20,000 monthly. If that 10, that 40,000 monthly. If they send $20 home, you think about it. You're talking about almost 100 grand monthly. And depending on how much they send home monthly, you might be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars monthly. Annually, maybe 10, 15, 20, maybe another $100 million. You don't know. So that's why leaders must be far-sighted. They must think before they speak. You hear? But no. No. And folks, one thing that we need to understand, we have the responsibility as Liberians to uphold the law of the land, or else we have no country. If you undercut the laws of the land, you have no country. And by that, you're self-destroyed. So let me come back and tell you. The politics does not supersede a nation. And here's my message to you, journalists, you opinion leaders, you in the position of power. If you want to direct Liberia in the right way, I'm tired of Liberian telling me who are opinion leader, telling me, oh, that way the people want to know. If you are a leader for real, then remember, you don't go where the people want to go. What if the place the people want to go will self-destroy them? What if you, as the shepherd who is leading the flocks, you see your sheep going on the cliff because they're where they're headed in majority? Is that where you're going to go? Because the majority say it is, it does not mean it's necessary, the truth, or it's good for the nation. The influencer, the leaders, the journalists, you have the responsibility to redirect that conversation. You came my pa, you came my mom, will vote for you. That where the people wanted to go, where did that end us? Mama now come, you destroy it, you will rebuild it. $16 billion later, where did that go? Where our structure breaking down. Brown Bear for our mayor position. Change to appointment position. No longer voting. Our chiefs no longer elected for Brown Bear. Is that what we're trying to do? Break down the system? And I keep saying, and I'll bring this home to everybody every time I have a conversation. No nation that I know that have gone to war and survived the war keeps the same constitution, because it is based on that constitution a nation felt in the beginning, in the first place. And because that constitution did not have enough power to hold people in place, to prosecute people, to hold people accountable, that constitution needed to be revisited, re-amended, rewritten if they needed to. America rewrote her whole constitution. Yes. America rewrote her whole constitution and name it different, name it a constitution. Y'all go look at it. I'm not going to just throw it out there like that. Okay? No nation that I know that I have studied, okay, that went to war and after war and kept the same constitution. It means that constitution was not able to hold the nation intact. They were not able to do what they needed to have done. That means the nation, those who took over, had the responsibility to visit that constitution or the founding document of that nation. America rewrote the whole constitution. Japan rewrote her whole constitution. Korea did the same. Rwanda did the same. When the imperialists were driven out of Kenya, the same thing. Nigeria, after the Biafra War, the same thing. Even after the independence, the same thing. And after the Biafra War. Don't go back. Don't go back. Visit those countries that have gone to war and come out and succeed after that. Y'all go back. After World War II, Italy visited the Constitution. Germany, the same. In fact, in China that you look at today, China they had a monarch. They changed. They came from a monarchy. They fought wars, okay? The Patriot lost. The communists won. They went to communist, became that. Oh, I see my sister here. What's up, counselor? Welcome. Carol, welcome, baby. All right. Sis Rebecca, I'm not here long. I have a new computer and I needed to try it out. I have work to turn in, so I gotta go. I gotta go send information to my students, parents. I have meeting on before coming on vacation. Send them information to study, get ready for exam on Tuesday. So I have my own papers, article review to do, so I need to go. But does the politics of Liberia supersede the law of the land? My answer is heavy no. The law is the glue. The law is the foundation for which Liberia is structured. If the law is undermined, and we call it politics, but politics and the law entwine, but the law do supersede. It does. So this is the question I want to leave with the Liberian people. I heard Richard Kuhn said they don't. He's going to be the regime speaker. As such, he will make sure that the president's agenda succeed. We want the president's agenda to succeed. But what is the president's agenda? That's what I want to know. If the president's agenda is the people's agenda, so then what is the fear? Why are we hijacking the system? Why are we undermining the very foundation that brought you to power? Why is that? If the president's agenda is in the interest of the Liberian people, there should be no worries, okay? And the people's agenda is the law. So if what the president is going to do is within the confines of the law of the nation, then why break the law? Why undermine it? Why do so? You know, the other day I posted and people were asking if this has happened before in Liberia. Yes, it has. From the inception of Liberia. During Todman time, y'all go do some research. In fact, they went on the main farm to take him off or take him out, but they missed him. Tarbert time, the same way. The executive want to dominate. Door time, the same way. And I wrote the other day, people don't like, if I talk about Prince Johnson, if I talked about Cool, everybody happy. But if I touch other people and their pepper bush, whatever it is, they're own of king's men or whatever they are. Today I wrote on I'm in a chat room with a Black educator in America. So this lady was talking about creating tribe and say, because everything they say now in America is the far right, the far left, the woke society, woke group, and Democrats and Republican. And what I wrote there, I said, you create your own tribes, and then you will experience what the rest of Africa is experiencing, because we are building a nation based on tribe. In America, we may not have tribe, but we have political party that become a tribe. We have the Democrats, we have the Republican. Then we have the one, how you call it, folks, you have to remember that before we got to Democrat and Republican, it had not always been. We had the populist and party. We had the radical Republican Party, okay? And the radical Republican were the one who did not want slavery, okay? But I can go on and on and on and on. And that's a different deal, different talk. I listened to my sister the other day talking about kindred stuff. And I'm going to add my voice to it from a different angle, from a different standpoint. A lot of people, when we are home, the propaganda of like America, until you come to America, depending on where you live and what you study, where you go to school for, and understand the sweats of Black people, the labor of Black people, the blood that soaked the soil of the United States of Black people, you will gain a different respect for Black people. It's like we're here, right? And we're screaming. Why the people in Liberia don't do anything? Why the people of Liberia sitting there? They're hungry. Those that are hungry have no time to make noise. If majority of your day you take it to find food for you and your children, yes, this Yamicho, you don't have the energy to be involved. You know, during the occupation of Japan in Korea, they will keep the people so hungry to the point that when they bring you a pan of rice, you will do whatever they tell you to do, especially if you're a parent with children. That way Liberia is. Most of the talking we talk, people don't hear us. I remember going with Musa all the way up interior to Yahweh Mesno and all of those places. No reception, no phone. You are literally just going like you're in the desert in the middle of somewhere in Arizona or somewhere lost. That what it would be like. And very scary too for me. Very scary. Americans, Black Americans have their own trauma. And then they have to learn in 7th and 8th grade how the people were treated. The injustices that were done to them. When they say people are resilient. You know, when I was coming to America, those the people were saying when you come, oh, stay away from Black people. Now I tell people, until I speak, you wouldn't know if I'm Black American or I'm African. I'm here because of the lives of Black American people, the fights. I am here because of the resilience. I am here because of the strength to never stay down. Imagine a woman had her child and gave you the child, you breastfed the child, you feed them, they went to school, they came back. And they can beat you up whenever they want. You are the slave for 200 years. You don't know where you come from. You don't know your family. They have your children. They trade in, you trade animals. But I tell you now that we are all citizens after the 13, the 14, and the 15th Amendment. We are, you're a human being now. You're not 1/5 of human being. Now you're citizen now. Now you can vote. They go to the poll. They have an election. Black people win seat. 41 days later, Abraham Lincoln died. Andrew Johnson became president, who is from the South. Reversed everything that they were promised. You're a free man. You have no food. You have no land. You have nothing. How free are you? You have to go back to work on the same farm that you came from. Then they said they set the price. You work all year long. You don't even have food to eat, and they take everything from you. Imagine that. Imagine that. Hey, Rosa, imagine that story. We would love to come home. Papa Buaka, give us a glimpse of hope so we can come home. My children and mommy, I'm so ready to go home. Yeah, I can pack up. Take a couple of 100 kids. Equity. Come and start something. But what to say, I will wake up the next morning, or I wake up in the middle of the night, my house is now on fire. Who? Who to say, I will not wake up, my house is engulfed and my kids and I all die, nowhere to go? Who to say? Who to say that I'll get my one leg car and bring it when somebody run into it? I remember a young man from here in the army saved his money, went to Liberia and built him a nice house. And one of the justices in Liberia wanted that young man land. The boy refused to sell the land to him. He sent a bulldozer and they broke it down. They broke it down. And you know what? That justice is family too. Sadly. You see, sis? That's the problem. I bought land in Marshall in 2007. When I went back, it was so. People said, go to court. Go to court with who? To do what? At the time, I bought the land, it was $500. Now, I'm going to go to court. Lawyer tell me I'm going to get them $1,000 just for retainer before we go to court. Hell no. Hell no. It's not that serious. At my age? Hell no. 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 That's not my logic. It's not that serious. I can live in Nimba, I'll be just fine. I got plenty of property in Nimba. The one my father left to us, bunch of girls. The one my husband family have that is left hundreds of acres. I don't need to be in Monrovia. I don't even like Monrovia anymore. I grew up in Monrovia. It's not that serious. But let me say it again, Pape Boaka. If your agenda is to empower the people, if your agenda is to increase the people, if your agenda is to liberate the people in their minds, your agenda is, okay, to improve the human capital, the standard of living, why do you need to take apart the legislature to do so? Why would you want to destroy the very foundation that the country is built on, that brought you to power? Why would you want to do that? The question I begs and answer, I had an attorney, my dear sister Charlene were over here earlier. I believe she's still here. Maybe we need to have this conversation. We need to ask her, based on the law of Liberia and based on the law she studied, because she went to school in America, so she's able to kind of balance that. Okay, I think she's a corporate lawyer, but she can put that in. I know Liberia law is usually general, and as a lawyer, she can answer us maybe in the time to come, or she does one of her podcasts. Does the politics of a nation supersede the law of the land, or the law is supposed to be absolute? That would be my question. And when I did pre-law, I'm told laws are based on tradition and precedents. And we can talk about the history of law, the different practices, where it started from, the one that started from that way, Italy, the one that started from England. We'll talk about it later. Maybe on Thursday night, that's where I'm going to introduce my particular thing from my pre-law classes. And how you call it? My professor once said, because it's legal, it does not mean it's moral. Because it's moral, it does not mean it's legal. It could be both. It could be either or. I'm trying to stay within the confines of the law. That said, I'm going to go get some rest. It is good. I have a new laptop, folks. I'm still paying for this laptop. All of y'all will help me pay for it. Okay. That I don't have to be downstairs in the noise. I'm in my studio back, and you can tell I'm back in my studio. This is good, right, guys? This is good. This is good. So let's have a conversation. I wouldn't be here Tuesday night, but we'll be here Thursday night. Tuesday night, I have a lot of work to catch up with, and that's what I need to do. Hey, sis, I see my sister Bernice here. Okay. Jackson, welcome. Sis Caroline, Anthony will be doing some big things in the coming days. Yes. So I want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in. I am grateful. And yes, I will be in Liberia, folks. I am thinking, says Yamicho, all of y'all. I am thinking strongly I should be in Liberia this year sometime. By God's grace, I should be finishing my program in December when I do. I'm gonna go do some survey in Liberia. Sis Richard, how you doing, Mama? I'm gonna call you the moment I get up so I can check on my brother-in-law. Okay, and when the moment I get up, I am thinking strongly. Listen, I was told a story by Andrew Young. We were told a story by Andrew Young. You know, Andrew Young, the first Black ambassador to the United Nations, who walked alongside Dr. Martin Luther King. About 2 years ago, I had an opportunity to be in his company, along with Zonora Clayton, the first Black George in Georgia, Clayton County wife, who were also financial secretary to Dr. Martin Luther King. You know, I'm always humble for a girl who wore her mother lapper as diaper. A girl from that little dusty town. Bernice, we gotta go build our own house in the town, we need to go. You and sister need to go build our own there and build our town. Hey, brother Emmanuel. Okay. To have had an opportunity to have conversation to people who have shaped one of the greatest nations in the world. Same before, same after Rome and Macedonia, okay, and the great empire you called England. I love you too. You know, to be here to sit and talk to people like that. Andrew Young said when they came from Washington with Dr. Martin Luther King, and they were getting frustrated because nothing was changing. The brutality against Black people were increasing by the day. Fear have overtaken the nation, and they gathered themselves and they went to Dr. King and said they need to go back to Washington. He said no. He said no. And they were like, what in heaven? He said they already know we're here. They seen us, they fed us, they seen our numbers. What we need to do now is the three things that need to happen. Here are the two major ones. We need to split ourselves. One group needs to go into business. We need a lot of entrepreneurs. One group needs to go into politics. Those are the policy maker, the policy changing into the Congress. This is where change will take place. You need money. You need businesses because we have to hire our people. That was the turn of the century. That was the turn for Black people. Andrew Young, John Conyers, okay, Johnny Louise, and a group of them decided they were going into politics. The other group decided they were going into business, and the other group would support them into the businesses. And they won their seats. So all of us have a responsibility at this point. Yes. And this year, and I will find the guts. I've been invited folks many times to TED Talk, especially when I appear on the Miniski. I will see if I'm going to go up there, but I need to get it together. I need to build myself up. We need to work to change Liberia. And the change, you have to be at the table. Even if they push you out, you got to bring your own table or your own chair. So let me say to all of you, when I say good night, I need us to rethink again. Okay? And Brother Emmanuel, that's how we must approach Liberia. We don't have a choice. Okay? We don't have a choice. That's why we need to come together and we start divine ourselves and do what we need to do. And we have to do that with trusted people, not a bunch of desperate liars, okay, who will change at any moment. That's what we need to do. And that been with me for the last 2.5 years when Andrew Young said that. He said that's what Dr. Martin Luther King told them. So we know we're here. Mind you, we give $800 million a year. If we come together and say, listen, Emmanuel, where are you from? 3 years before the election, we're going to start doing some stuff. We need visibility. Okay? In the end, they will be asking you for money anyway. Yes, that's the word. Trusted, consistent. Okay? Not easily swayed. That's what we need. But I have said enough in one night. I got to go get some schoolwork done. I am now back in my studio. I have I don't know what happened to that laptop. It was not getting through. So I'm grateful. I will talk to all of you later. You have a good night. This has been our Sunday edition on Second Thought Africa. Reimagine. Reimagine Africa. Reimagine taking down those boundaries that were brought by the imperialists. That I don't need visa to go to Nigeria. I don't need visa to go to Congo. I don't need visa to go to Guinea-Bissau, Ivory Coast, Ghana. I don't need visa. When I travel through America, 50 plus states, as 50 states per se, I don't need visa. I'm in America. When you get to Europe and get on the train, you don't need visa. So why? While the trade in Africa is less than intra-African trade is less than 5%. 60% of our business is done with China, Europe, and America. When a Liberian go to Guinea to buy product, the Lebanese men have monopoly. Commerce go and seize it when they can get it from Guinea cheaper. Imagine that. Imagine we open our minds and our heart. Imagine we open ourselves to do business among ourselves, to welcome each other as the same people. Imagine how powerful we will be as a continent. Imagine that. Imagine you as a Liberian elevating the next Liberian. Imagine how strong we will be together. Imagine that everything we do it to enlighten the minds of the young people, to empower them to become leaders, to be truthful. You know, Confucius says the strength of the nation depends on the integrity of the home. Imagine that the parents are the ones who are in the street hustling to make sure the children have better life than they have. Imagine that. That's how we should reimagine Liberia. We imagine that if your mother did not go to school, your father did not go to school, that your mother will sell in the market and make sure the children have a better life. Imagine when your mom cook now in the house, that saying the children are still developing. Daddy does not get to get the chicken breast and the chicken thighs. Daddy get to get the chicken feet. The children get the chicken thighs and most of the food so they can develop strong and healthy. Reimagine that. Imagine we change the way we have always taught. Reimagine Liberia. Reimagine the whole of Africa. Reimagine you fighting for me, I'm fighting for you. But in the interest and the betterment of our nation, that you're looking out for me and I'm looking out for you. Imagine. Good night, everyone. On my way. Gotta go get this done. That's how it should be. Good night.